Hi everyone, I'm going to be presenting the potassium mineral to y'all today. There's four food sources that came to mind when I thought of potassium, and that was spinach, yogurt, Brussels sprouts, and banana. So I did some calculations and found the milligrams contained in 1 cup of each serving of these foods. So spinach is 186 milligrams per cup. Yogurt is 240 milligrams, Brussels sprouts 342 milligrams, and banana is 716 milligrams in a cup. There's a lot of functions to potassium, and one of the main ones is that it contains electrolytes and regulates water and acidic balance. This is why the regular serum to count does not give accurate count levels, because it's mostly contained in the red blood cells, and it sometimes it can even lower high blood pressure because of its ability to maintain normal blood pressure and managing that, and it's absorbed in the small intestines. Its reputation, and it's known for day-to-day use in soap, detergent, and fertilizers, for example. But our main focus is the food and body regulation, which is what we have already talked about, which is the blood pressure, electrolytes, and so on. The biggest myth or reputation that it has is that it has a high density in bananas, which isn't totally true. It's the highest in the four of the foods that I listed, but if you were to eat a potato, it'd be worth twice as much than a banana in its potassium content. And if you're thinking of your food prep, it's suggested that you eat these foods in the raw for the full potassium levels. Cooked and preserved foods tend to lose the content of potassium. And some examples of what can lower potassium levels or disadvantage higher potassium levels would be alcohol, caffeine, and sugar. And then, like I said, leafy or raw vegetables contain the most. Some interesting facts was that 11 bananas equals your recommended intake per day, which is 2 grams or 4,700 milligrams. And it's the 8th most abundant mineral, and it's in 2% of the Earth's crust, which is why many foods contain potassium. It just depends on the amount that they contain, which I thought was kind of interesting. There is no deficiency in the U.S. particularly, but I wanted to bring this up briefly, just because there are deficiencies when it comes to disease or aging. It's just that there's no relation to the U.S. specifically. And so we'll continue on and talk about maybe overconsumption, which is going to be the opposite, and how the kidney filters out the overconsumption of potassium, which in turn benefits hyperkalemia. Hyperkalemia is overconsumption of potassium, which happens, but it's not extremely common, just because it's only going to occur when another function of the body kind of shuts down, causing there to be a backup of potassium and consumption that holds within the body. But the kidney again helps maintain this, and if it's not maintained and regulated, then there's not enough potassium in the body. Since it is an essential mineral, it can lead to death. And that'll be it. Thanks for listening.